We're now leaving the land of fantasy and entering the world of the future.
It's Friday, February 11th, 2011, and this is the Eric Paul Johnson Radiotrola program. I took a week off last week. Yeah, something like that. I didn't do a show last week. I'd done 6 months of shows. So I thought, I'll take a week off. It'll be nice. Actually, I'd been kind of wanting to take time off for, since December. Take a little break. But I wanted to push my Brandmeier show. So I did. And I'm sure all 2 of my listeners were just crushed that they couldn't hear me last week. But I took time off. 6 months. That's 26 shows. That's 2.5 months of shows for Letterman. So I think I did pretty good. So I took a week off. And now I'm back with all kinds of, I'm relaxed, I'm ready, I got fresh new ideas, so let's do this. It's Friday night, so let's do it!
Take this job and shove it.
Here you go, brand new feature, the Shove It line. It's Friday night, you're sick of your crappy job. If you've got a crappy job, so call in, tell your place of employment to take their job and shove it. Wait, stop. That's not a fresh new idea. Actually, Jonathan Brandmeier did that for like 10 years. So you can't do that. That's just ripping off somebody else's gig. So that's not really a new, fresh idea anyway. Then again, he hasn't really done it for like 20 years. So, that's right for just taken, right? It's like I'm done with this. I'm chucking it out I'm putting it out on the curb. Anybody wants it, you can go ahead and take it. So, I guess it's perfectly okay to do it. So let's do this.
Take this job and shove it.
It's the Shove It line. It's when you call in and tell your place of employment to take your job and just shove it. So call in here at 602. No. Wait, hold on. Stop. Another problem. Okay, I don't even know where to begin for this problem. First of all, I don't have a phone line, so people can't call me. Second of all, I'm actually recording this on Tuesday, February 8th at 9:07 p.m. And who's going to know that? So nobody can call me. And I'm not giving out my cell phone number or my home phone number, which is the only way anybody can call me. And who knows to call me right now? So you can't call into the Shove It line. This bit's going nowhere fast, isn't it? I mean, I guess I could do it myself. I could shove it myself. But I haven't had a job in almost 3 years, so that's not really much of a Shove It line. Hey! Nobody shove it. I mean, I could tell the last place I worked at to shove it. But it wasn't a bad place. They were nice. She really, really hated to let me go. I mean, she just felt awful about it. I was a great employee. I came in every single day. I didn't have a car, so I had to ride my bike there every day, and they were 6.5 miles away from home. So, I mean, really, it's kind of like this with everything in life. Just showing up is half of winning. So, and she just loved it that I would show up every day riding my bike there. And I just quietly did my thing, got the stuff done, and went home. I didn't cause trouble, and so it's just there wasn't enough business, so they hated to let me go. So I really can't say, what were they? I can't even remember the name of the place anymore. United Benefits Tribal Global? Take this job and shove it. Well, I can't say that because I don't work there anymore, and they were nice. They had great Christmas parties, too. I'm straying from the subject here, aren't I? So I can't really say. Target, that was an awful place to work at. Target, take this job and shove it 11 years after I left you. God, that's lame. Wait, hold on. Let me try something here. It's going to be a first. Oops, wrong button. Here, a couple of firsts here on the Eric Paul Johnson Radiotrola program. The first time, I am blatantly stealing someone else's bit. And the first time we're going to try this with the phone. I got my cell phone, and I'm going to call a friend, and maybe they can ask them to shove their job. So there's a first. Stealing someone's bit, and we'll actually do a phone call on the show. I don't see either of these working out because, well, for one thing, the cell phone is going to be going through the speakerphone, and cell phone speakerphones are just fantastic for quality. Okay, turn on the speaker and calling. We'll see how this works out.
Please enjoy the music while your party is reached.
Oh, and Tori Amos. Give it a listen.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Huh?
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay, because you're on speakerphone. I'm trying to, do a phone call thing, and the only way I can think of doing it is doing it on speakerphone.
Okay.
Okay, so as long as everything's getting through. When I did the broadcast of the Brandmeier retrospective at your place, do you remember the section about the shove it line?
Yeah.
Okay, where people would say where they work and tell their place to employment to shove it. I'm like ripping off that bit, but the problem is I don't have a phone line, so people can't actually call in, and also I'm recording, so who's going to know to call in on Tuesday at 9:25 for a Friday or Sunday show? So
Right.
so I'm like calling my friends and saying, can you tell where you work to shove it? And you don't have to tell your current job to shove it, because on the slim chance this actually makes it to somebody you actually work for, I wouldn't want you to get fired. So
Yeah.
so what was...
Although, in a way, it wouldn't be a bid wash.
Oh, okay.
Oh, financially it would be, but,
Yeah, well, especially since we're in a depression right now.
Yeah.
So what was the worst job that you ever had? Don't say the name of the place. Save that for the shove it when we close out the call. So what was the worst
place.
the worst job you ever had?
Trying to think.
Yeah. Have you ever had a bad Have you ever had a bad job?
Oh, I know.
Yeah?
The movie that I'm working on in California, just before I left there, they got a new manager. That was a total ass.
Was it the manager that made that job awful? I mean, were there any duties that you hated doing at the theater? Or
I enjoyed doing it. It was the manager.
the manager was a dick?
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead, and if you want to say the manager's name, you can say the theater and the manager, and just tell them to shove it. And
I don't remember the manager's name, so...
Oh, okay. Well, then you just go ahead and tell the place where
Maybe
you
you can
work.
just call him Dick.
Sure. So go ahead and tell them to shove it.
Hey, Dick, manager of Roxy Theater. You can take this job and shove it up my...
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Karen, for helping out a goober.
No problem.
Okay. I'll see you Sunday night.
Alrighty.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Take this job and shove it.
Another Shove It line has gone down for February 11th, 2011. What a huge waste of time.
Debbie just hit the wall. She never had it all. One Prozac a day. Husband's a CPA. Her dreams went out the door when she turned 24. Only been with one man. What happened to her plan? She was gonna be an actress. She was gonna be a star. She was gonna shake her ass on the hood of Whitesnake's car. Her yellow SUV is now the enemy. Looks at her average life and nothing has been alright since Bruce Springsteen, Madonna, in St. Elmo's fire. She rocked out to Wham, not a big Limp Bizkit fan. Thought she'd get a hand on a member of Duran Duran. Where's the mini skirt made of snake skin? And who's the other guy that's singing in Van Halen? When did reality become TV? Whatever happened to sitcoms, game shows on the radio? Springsteen, Madonna, way before Nirvana. There was U2 and Blondie, and music still on MTV. Her two kids in high school, they tell her that she's uncool, 'cause she's still preoccupied with 1985. She hates time, make it stop. When did Motley Crue become classic rock? And when did Ozzy become an actor? Please make that stop, stop, stop. And bring back Springsteen, Madonna, way before Nirvana. There was U2 and Blondie, and music still on MTV. Her two kids in high school, they tell her that she's uncool, 'cause she's still preoccupied. 1985. Springsteen, Madonna, way before Nirvana. There was U2 and Blondie, and music still on MTV. Her two kids in high school, they tell her that she's uncool, 'cause she's still preoccupied with 1985.
In the beginning,
12 and a half minutes ago?
oh, long before that,
13?
when light was deciding who should be in and who should be out of spectrum,
Oh, that's a long, long time ago.
yellow was in trouble
Oh, dear.
even then.
Oh, back then.
Seems that green, you know how green can be,
Yeah, you talked
didn't
about him
want
last
yellow
week.
in. Some
Bastard.
silly primal envy, I suppose, but for whatever cause, the effect was bad on yellow
Bad
and
green.
caused yellow to weep yellow tears for several eternals.
He
Before
weeped.
there were years,
He weeped urine?
until Blue heard what was up between green and yellow, and took green aside for a serious talk,
They're
in
scheming.
which Blue pointed out that if yellow and blue were to get together, not that they would, but if they did,
Yes.
gentle threat,
All hypothetical, of course.
they could make their own green. Oh, said Green with some understanding. Naturally, by a sudden change of hue, Green saw the light and Yellow got in. Worked out fine. Yellow got lemons, and Green got limes.
And they made Sprite. Okay, this came up on Facebook and it started a story. And of course it's Facebook, so I had to squeeze the story down to a couple of lines. And I thought, you know what? This would be good on my radio show. I will tell it on my radio show and expand it and tell you the story in its full version.
It's time to remember the magic.
So this happened...
It was back last October, I believe it was.
No, actually, this happened back last August 1998. Might have been September, but in my head, I'm getting the vibe that actually it was August 1998. So me and Wendy, who was my girlfriend at the time, she's not anymore. That came out sounded like, oh, she's not anymore. Thank God for that. No, we broke up and then 9 months later, February 99, March 99, we broke up. Drifting away again. So we moved into this apartment, the one right here, in June 1998. This very apartment I'm in right now. I've lived here for 12 and a half years. Well, why didn't you ever get a house? You're asking. That's a very good question. Why don't you ask George Bush and the Republicans, who took a thriving economy, bashed its brains out with a baseball bat, then left it in the alley to die so that people on the bottom, like me, could suffer and fulfill the Republican plan of killing the poor.
I will kill you, your brothers, your mother, and your sisters.
I looked into getting a house in 2004. I had a job, and but I wasn't making, what was it, $10 an hour, $11 an hour, and it wasn't enough to get a house, so I didn't get a house. Then, of course, Bush decided, well, I'm getting political again, aren't I? Wasn't I going to avoid getting political? Well, this isn't political, this is historic. George W. Bush and the Republicans collapsed the friggin' economy, which is why nobody has a job anymore, and why I haven't been able to find a job for 3 years. So there's your history. George Bush is an incompetent dick, and the Republicans suck. And they kill everything they touch.
Those sentiments are so distasteful.
That's just history. I'm not, not being political. That's not a political opinion or a liberal interpretation. That's just history.
Aw, shut up, you dumb jerk face.
So yes. 12 and a half years I've lived here. And I'm about to sign a new lease in March, I hope. You think at this point they just give me the damn apartment. Alright. August 1998. Me and Wendy had been living in this apartment for a couple of months, month or two. And I wanted to eat like someone who doesn't live with their parents anymore. This isn't my first apartment, and it's not like, yay, I'm 29, I finally have my first apartment. No, I didn't move out of my parents' house until I was 25. And again, we can blame that on George Bush Sr. George W. Bush collapsed this economy. George Bush Sr. collapsed, Reagan collapsed it.
It's about as likely as you're being run over by a horse in your bathtub.
Bush couldn't fix it. The economy in the early 90s, which meant it was almost impossible for me to get a job, no matter how much I looked, until Clinton came in and, saved the economy, and in 1993 I was able to get a job and keep a job and was able to move out of my parents' house when I was 25, October 94. Again, not getting political. Reagan sucks, both Bushes were incompetent. It's just historical fact.
Well, let's not play these silly games. Honestly, I'm just not in the mood for it.
So yeah, this wasn't my first apartment. But my head interprets time much slowly than it actually happens. When I say I can't believe that it's been 30 years since Jonathan Brandmeier's first show, it's not so much that it's like, wow, 30 years, that's a long time ago. It's that in my head, wasn't 1981 just a few years ago? So, and then also there's this thing like, 30 years? That went by way too fast. So I don't know. I think what it is that my brain interprets time slowly, and then when it finally hits that something is 10, 13, or 30 years ago, it's like, well, when did that happen? So yes, I had been on my own for almost 4 years when me and Wendy got the apartment. October 1994 is when I was finally able, when there was finally a good economy. Thank you, Bill Clinton. Historical fact. When there was finally a good economy where I could get and keep a job and could finally, get out of my parents' house, get my own place. So yeah, I'd been on my own for 4 years, and we moved into here. And still in my brain, it all still seemed like, I'm not living with my parents anymore. I do whatever I want, which of course I'd already been doing for the last 4 years, but still, my brain, there's still, still coming in there, I'm on my own. So I was going to live like I was on my own. I am going to eat. Oh, I've always wanted to, but you can't do it when you're living with your parents, even if you got money, because, I don't know why. I guess it's just like if you're going to make it for everybody. Or, no, I know what it was. You're living with your parents, and even if you're 23 years old, your mother is still going to say, oh, don't eat all that. And you're kind of like, well, okay. So, out of my parents' house, living on my own. And, well, at the time, Wendy was living with me. So, we moved in, we got this apartment. So I'm living without parental supervision. And Wendy wasn't around much either. I think that night... No, that's right. She worked nights. She worked afternoons to, 2:30 to 11. So she wasn't around. So earlier in the day when I was out with my grandma shopping, because I would take her to the store every day, and I'd also get stuff for myself. And something I've always wanted to do, but, with the parents around, they're going to say, "Oh, don't do that." Well, there was nobody to tell me, "Don't do that." So I did it.
It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely.
And while I was at the store, I bought a package of breakfast sausage. Not the links, the patties. A nice, one of those tubes of breakfast sausage that you cut up. I don't know what the size. Are they like 6 ounces? Well, I bought that, and when I got, and later that night, took out the frying pan and turned on the heat and opened up sliced the plastic off the tube of sausage and just peeled off the wrapping and plopped that sausage loaf right there on the plate. Got out a knife and cut it up. Cut it into nice slices, thick slices. Oh, this is going to be good. I love sausage. Salty and the spices, and it's fantastic. This is going to be great. So I sliced them, nice thick slices. Put the first 4 into the frying pan, because only 4. I have a small frying pan. I still have it. I bought it when I moved out of my parents' house. So it's original moving out equipment. And I still have it. I still use it. So I put the 4 patties in the frying pan, and they're frying up and making that sizzling sound, and just the smells of sausage cooking, and it smells so good. Oh, this is gonna be great. And fry it up, and flip it over and fry up the other side, and until it's like kind of blackish, not burnt, but dark brown with some black. I like them crispy. So I'm cooking this up, and I take out the first 4 and put them on the plate so that they'll cool down. Put the next 4, and lather, rinse, repeat until I ran out of sausage patties. And while the 4 were cooking, I would eat the 4 that I took out. So they were cool enough to where I could eat them. And I'd eat the 4, and this is yummy, this is good. Oh, sausage. God, I love sausage. The Italian sausage, breakfast sausage link, breakfast sausage patties, Italian sausage, bratwursts. Oh, they're the best. That sausage is the friggin' best food in the world. Nothing is better than sausage. I don't care about your friggin' fancy, expensive caviar flibber-flobber food. I don't care about your friggin' vegetarian or your Indian food or your high-class snooty crap. Nothing is better than sausage in all of its forms.
So good.
Oh.
Nothing was ever so good.
So I eat the 4 patties that I cook while the other 4 are cooking. And then when those are flipped over and cooked, take those, put them on the plate, put the next set of 4 in the frying pan. While those cook, I eat the other 4. And oh, this is good. This is yummy. And I just lather, rinse, repeat until I was out of sausage. And I just ate. Oh, God, it was great. I ate an entire 6-ounce tube of sausage. The whole thing.
All done.
Oh,
if you survive,
good.
Please come again.
That was fantastic. I have crazy high cholesterol, but I'm 29. I can afford to eat. My arteries can take an onslaught of breakfast sausage patties. I'm still young. I can deal with. I can take it. So and I'll just do it this once, and from now on, it's sausage moderation when I have sausage, because I just want to do it this one time, just to see what it's like to not have anybody say, "Oh, don't eat all that," or someone say, "Hey, can I have some of that?" No, all me, the entire tube of sausage, fried up in my mouth, sitting, digesting in my gut. so yummy. And I went on with the rest of the night as I usually did, watching TV, making supper for Wendy for when she would come home, and watching Letterman and staying up until, I think back then I stayed up till like 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd go to bed. Sometime in 2004 I started going to bed at 3 a.m. So I go to bed and I go to sleep, and sometime around 6 o'clock-ish, kind of not feeling so well. And Wendy had gotten up. I think she was going to school at the time, or work. I don't know if she took on an extra shift or something, but she was up getting ready for something, school or work. And she's taking her shower and doing her hair. We have 2 bathrooms, so it's not like if she's in the shower, I gotta wait until she's done before I do anything. Really, I'm just laying in bed, just kind of just try and ride this out. It'll be okay. Because back in 1985, I caught an ulcer. And it wasn't one of those ulcers where it just hurts like hell in your gut. No, I wasn't lucky. I got the ulcer that makes you throw up when you get nervous. So I found ways around that, and one of my ways around that was not eating the entire day until I was sure I wasn't going to go out. Because going out made me nervous. Because if I'm going out, what happens if I get nauseous? And then I worry about getting nauseous, so I get nauseous. And I don't want to have to run to the bathroom or find a bathroom someplace and all that, and go throw up, and it takes away from the fun of going out with friends and things. So to solve that problem, I didn't eat the whole day. I would eat a little bit of little things, like a few cookies and some milk to hold me through the day. My thinking was, and yes, this is gross, and I knew it then, and I've always known it. My thinking was, if I eat something small enough that if it's small enough, throw it up and then swallow it back down.
You're goddamn crazy.
I know.
You goddamn incompetent jackass.
It's gross. But it avoids, when you're a teenager and you're already not like the coolest goober in the world, when you're a teenager and you're trying to maintain, the slimmest margin of cool that you can, running to the bathroom and puking your guts out, it really brings down it brings it down to negative megafonzies on the coolometer. So that's what I would do. And usually around 10 o'clock at night, then I'd just crawl into the refrigerator and start eating. But at times when the nausea did hit, for, the years, and I may not have had the ulcer for as long as I thought, but the ulcer got it in there, and it planted it in my head. That even long after the ulcer was gone, there's still the learned thinking that the ulcer created, that if I eat and go out, I'm going to get nauseous. About 10 years ago, I finally overcame the phantom ulcer in my head. So now I can eat and go out and eat, and I'm perfectly fine and everything, as my ample gut will show you. So I had a lot of experience with, I'm able to control my nausea. When I get nauseous, I don't feel so hot, but I'm able to keep it from living up to its full potential all over the floor or wherever. One of the tricks that I found out was, nice name for a song, by the way. If I could get Robert Plant's if I could get Robert Plant's Big Log in my head.
Sounds crazy to me.
It seemed to have a calming sense on my stomach. So just take Robert Plant's Big Log and run it in through my brain over and over.
Just another example of knowing what to say and when to say it.
I'd still feel nauseous, but not to where it's like, get out of the way. So I learned how to keep a good control of my nausea when it hits. So I'm lying in bed, 6 o'clock in the morning, August 1998, the morning after my sausage binge.
He felt he deserved an extended binge.
And Wendy's getting ready, and I'm just laying in bed, just like, just ride it out. I can do this. I've been through worse. Ugh. And another reason was I didn't want to throw up around my girlfriend. I mean, at that point, we'd been together for over 2 years, so, she's seen me naked. There's no way I could do anything, there could be anything more humiliating than that. But still, I don't want to, I don't want people to hear me throw up or to throw up around people. It's not pleasant and it's embarrassing. I mean, yeah, she's already seen me naked and she's seen me in more embarrassing things, but I'd like to keep vomiting special just for me.
You're doing this out of the goodness of your own slimy little coal-colored heart.
So I'm waiting, and I'm waiting for her to finish up and get ready and go and leave for work or school or wherever she was going. But it's like, this is getting worse. I think I can hold out until Wendy leaves, but I'm going to go in the other bathroom and I'm going to sit by the toilet in case it all comes up before she leaves. So Wendy got ready and, she saw me sitting by the toilet and she asked, if I was all right or what was going on. And I the best thing for me to do when I'm really sick is not talk. Any kind of throat moving besides swallowing, it just kind of makes things worse. It's sort of like, if air is being expelled out the mouth, well, then the stomach must think, well, it's time to get rid of everything out of the mouth. So I just saying, sausage. And she just kind of nods, So she finishes getting ready for work, and she goes, and she says bye-bye, and I think I grunt or something. So she's gone, and it's 6:30. And I'm thinking, oh God. I don't want to. But I think I got to, because this isn't getting better. This is just going to get worse, isn't it? Just do it and get it over with. It's like a Band-Aid right off. Ugh. So I assume the position, head's right over that bowl, and just I'm staring down into the water, into the toilet, and and that and you get that toilet smell. It's not dirty. It smells like water in a clean toilet. But it triggers off all the vomit memories you have as a kid of when you get your face that close to a toilet that you can smell the toilet, the water in the clean bowl and that kind of stuff. So, master of the nausea as I am, I also know what to do to get things going. It doesn't involve sticking my finger down my throat. That's gross. My finger has been touching the side of the toilet and, touching the bathroom floor. So I start making... I think what it is I relax my nausea control and just let things happen because they're going to happen. And so I just relax it, and I induce gagging. I just, make some gagging noises, and that helps. And then there's a couple of dry heaves, and then, here it all comes. You just feel it rumbling, and you can hear it in your ears. You just hear the inside of your body. You hear that gurgling noise of everything in your stomach barreling up through your food tube, and it's all coming up, and then right out, all just coming, and it's coming. It's just pouring out of me, and it's all you just taste all the sausage and the stomach goo and out of my nose, and I can't breathe, and it's all coming. And then it's all, the last bit of it kind of dribbles out. It's like, oh, God. It's over.
He was bad, and he was flush.
I had some of the toilet paper and, wipe the nose and the mouth and down there, just And there it is in the toilet. All that yummy sausage I had last night. Just chunks and stuff and just floating and just...
I bet he ain't exactly Chef Boyardee in the kitchen.
And I flush it and I brush my teeth and, do some extra rinsing with water and mouthwash. And then I go lay down. It's for a bit to hopefully try and get some sleep before I have to get up at 9 and go over to my grandma's, do the grandma thing I would do every day. So there you go. That's my sausage story.
I like stories.
And I take that as sort of the same way I would raise kids. As long as it's not going to kill them, I would think go ahead and let them get hurt. Let them do something stupid. Because if they do something stupid and they get hurt or it's terrible, they're never going to do it again. And never ever again have I sat down, as much as I've wanted to, eaten an entire tube or package or just row of sausage. Keep it limited to 2, 3 at the very most of any type of sausage product. And yeah, I've never again, as much as I love sausage, that's all it took. That's profuse puking. I know, most people, when they're 29 and they're out on their own, they wind up vomiting after a big night of getting unbelievably drunk. Well, since I don't drink, I stuff my pie hole with sausage. Take that to mean what you will.
High noon in Gotham City. In a deserted warehouse, Batman and Robin are shackled to a post, desperately struggling to break loose. Inches away, a time bomb ticks ominously, threatening to blow the dynamic duo into oblivion. Suddenly, a crash of glass.
Holy, breaking and entering. It's Batgirl.
Quick, Batgirl, untie us before it's too late.
It's already too late. I've worked for you a long time, and I'm paid less than Robin.
Holy discontent.
Same employer, same job means equal pay for men and women.
This is no time for jokes, Batgirl.
It's no joke. It's the federal equal pay law.
Holy act of Congress.
Can we talk about this later, Batgirl?
Will it be too late? Will Batgirl save the dynamic duo? Will she get equal pay? Tune in tomorrow or contact the Wage and Hour Division listed in your phone book under the U.S. Department of Labor.
Clotheslines are for the birds.
The Westinghouse clothes dryer, that's for you.
You do your drying, rain or shine, save time and trouble too.
No more bending, no more stretching.
Less ironing work to do. Clotheslines are for the birds.
The Westinghouse clothes dryer, that's for you.
The new apple of America's eye, Giordano's stuffed pizza in the pan. When our astronauts were walking on the moon, Middle America was discovering a new world of pizza right here in Chicago. Giordano's stuffed pizza in the pan, unanimously acclaimed far and wide for its original, outstanding taste. The New York Times called it the ultimate pizza. Chicago Magazine called it Chicago's best pizza. And you will too when you bite into the thick double crust surrounding 3 different cheeses, special spices, and your choice of spinach, zucchini, sausage, or 9 other ingredients. Discover all Giordano's wonders for yourself, for lunch, or for dinner. Stuffed pizzas, thin crust pizzas, delicious sandwiches, salads and soups, wines, beer, and more. Dine in casual contemporary surroundings or call for hot, fast pickup or delivery. Enjoy a slice of America at Giordano's. There are 13 Giordano's around Chicago to serve you. Don't miss their guaranteed 30-minute lunch. Just call and order ahead. Check the yellow pages for the Giordano's nearest you.
Neocon idealism bringing you down? Is your tiny brain hurting you more to be a Republican these days? Filling up your SUV alone can make you realize what a complete a-hole you are. If reality is becoming too much to handle, try John's Little Boehner Pills. Yes, friends, every John's Little Boehner pill contains 5 daily talking points for you to shout rudely over the truth. Each talking point was certified and approved by Karl Rove and Frank Luntz to help fight the war on reality with words that work. Begin your statements with 9/11 and always end them with Iraq. Whatever culture you hate, call it a culture of hate. Even if you hate it, they hate you more. The sacrificing of civil rights is worth the cost of security. We are reshaping the Middle East. Stem cell research is murder, unless you're a white snowflake child. So next time you get that logy feeling, when logic is starting to set in, try John's Little Boehner Pills, and you'll be spewing gay old party lies in no time.
Hello, it's the Geico Gecko. Did you know that 15 minutes with Eric Paul Johnson could turn you into a lesbian?
A hard-fighting man's man with a mouthful of chaw. NASCAR's #1 driver from 1997 to 2010. 2 apple fritters and a large fruit punch. Crazier than a bag full of rabid weasels. And with the kind of odor that will linger. He's got 4 of Evander Holyfield's teeth permanently embedded in his ear. And there ain't no better goat inseminator in all of West Texas. The orneriest dang-nabbed DJ you're ever gonna hear. And with a head of hair like Nick Nolte in an electrical storm. Ladies and gentlemen, you will give it up for Eric Paul Johnson. Live on Ustream. Yeehaw!
The eyes that just stare and the glare
Okay, so you've probably noticed that it's not February 11th at this point. Yeah, I didn't finish last week's show. And it's not my fault. I have a guest staying with me for 2 weeks now. And like I said in previous shows, I can't radio when there are people around. I just feel stupid talking to the computer. So I didn't finish last week's show. I have some time right now, so hopefully I'll be able to finish it. I only got 14 minutes left, so as long as she doesn't come back, I'm not complaining that she's here. It's just that there's someone here and can't do it. So let's do another opening for the show, since there is no February 11th show. It's Friday, February 18th, 2011, and this is the... Whoa, wait, hold on, wait. February 18th, 2011? Holy crap. My grandma's been dead for 10 years now. I gotta do something about this. Well, I mean, not bring her back. I don't have that kind of power over time and space. But wouldn't it be cool? Can we... Some music behind this, please. No, not that kind of music. I am not going to be a downer. I don't want to be a downer. I don't like being a downer. So, something more perky? Grandma wouldn't want to be a downer either. So, something more perky. Grandma liked the polkas, so how about some polka? That's better.
Hello, Eric?
Hello, Grandma. I'm not going to get depressing, because I don't want to get depressing. I don't like getting depressing. There's plenty to be depressing about. I always try and be the funny guy, even about death. So if you're looking for sensitivity for death, don't come to me. I'm sorry that someone you love or that someone I know has died, but I'm always cracking wise, so... And I expect no different if I die. If I ever die, crack all the wise, make all the jokes, all the bad puns you want to. Hang a do not disturb sign on my coffin if I should ever die. Just be silly, okay? Because you're going to be dead. Then there's nothing to be silly about when you're dead, because you're dead. You don't move, so you can't crack wise. So crack wise while you're alive to enjoy it. And also, when Grandma died, she was 87 years old, and we were pretty tight. When Grandma died, February 18th, 2001, around 3 a.m., I would say, I told my friends my grandma died, and usually their response was, "Oh, I'm sorry. Now grieve, damn it!" And it's like, first of all, I don't grieve. I mean, I don't collapse on the floor into a ball of tears. I know there's like these stages of grief. Denial, bargaining, pizza eating, Lego buying, and then acceptance or whatever. I'm not entirely sure. I don't go through any of that. I go right to acceptance, because they're dead. What is there to deny or bargain about? They're dead. You can't deny it. They're dead. Who are you going to bargain with? God? God doesn't really work that way. When someone's dead, they're dead. When they're gone, they're gone. No bartering system or whatever is gonna bring them back. So didn't fall into a ball of tears because she's dead. I miss her. But there's also another reason why I don't fall into a ball of tears. It's hard to fall into a ball of tears because Grandma was always a hoot. So really, all the memories I have about Grandma make me smile because she was a hoot. She kept me well fed. She was amusing. She was a grandma. Always there with the food, handing out free cash. She always came through with the Legos for my birthdays and Christmas. Even when I was 30, she's still 31, right up to the end. Still coming through with the Legos. My mother wanted me to grow up and thought, she never bought me Legos for Christmas after I started shaving. And I think she just expected me to grow up. But, if I'm 25 and I'm still asking for Legos, I think you can just pretty much forget that there's any chance that I'm going to be growing up. There are so many stories that are amusing, and this one isn't like one that's just like, well, this is above all else. No, I just pick one at random. Back when I was going to Glendale Community College in the early 90s, Grandma would come over to the house. I'd finish getting ready, and I would drive her to the bus stop I would go. I'd get in the car and we'd drive to the bus stop, like a mile away. And once there, we'd switch. Well, I would get out of the car, go to the bus stop. Grandma would get in her car, and she would go to the store or wherever she would go. So on this morning, fall 1992, October maybe, normal morning routine, driving to the bus stop and all this other stuff. And we get into the parking lot of the Fry's, and I'm about to park the car in front of the Country Kitchen restaurant, because the bus stop was in front of that. So it's just, put the car in a parking space, I get out, Grandma gets in. So I told Grandma that when I was washing my clothes, I caught a whiff of old Polo on one of my shirts. And I said, it smelled so good I wanted to have sex with myself. And what I meant by this is it really smelled good. It's like, oh, that smells good. I didn't want to wake the wizard or anything like that. It's sort of like when you smell pizza, it's like, oh, I'd like some pizza. That smells good. So I say that Grandma was washing clothes, putting clothes, kind of, smell it. It smelled so good I wanted to have sex with myself. I got my hand on the gear shift, which is on the floor of the car. And I'm looking down, because, to look down to see to put it in the park. And right then, I say, it smells so good I wanted to have sex with myself. Grab the gear shift, look down, and Grandma says, did you get an erection? I threw it in park and froze. Looking down, smiling, laughing hysterically inside, thinking, did my 75-year-old grandmother just ask if I popped a boner? Oh my God! So I look up, straight out the windshield, and I say, I gotta go, the bus is here. And Grandma says, what are you talking about? The bus isn't here. I said, no, the bus is here, I gotta go. And she was like, what? Oh, you don't want to talk about it? I gotta go catch the bus. So I got out of the car, went to the bus stop, and in my head I'm just like, laughing hysterically that my grandma asked me, I'm 23 years old, she asked me if I sprouted wood.
Sounds crazy to me.
Those sentiments are so distasteful.
Yeah. So after she died, she was 87, I think I already said that. After she died, I would have dreams about her. And it really, really felt like that she was visiting me through my dreams. And I totally can accept that it's just that since I was so tight with her, of course her memories are going to be so solid in my head that any dreams I have of her might just be, memories sparking up inside the neurons and glycerin and jelly brain goo. That of course, anytime I have a dream about her, it's going to seem like she's right there. One time, I'll tell you one time and get to the other thing. One time, I had a dream in December, and Grandma was there, and I said, I really, my mom has a history of not getting me the Lego sets I want for Christmas. Not getting me Lego sets for Christmas. So I had a dream with Grandma, and this was like a couple weeks before Christmas. And in the dream, I said, oh, Grandma, I really want the Lego TIE Interceptor. A big set, it's really cool. And Grandma laughed. That she comes back from the dead to visit me, and I ask her for a really cool Lego set. And it was a laugh like, that's so Eric. So, of course. So Christmas comes around, And my parents, my mom gives me the Lego TIE Interceptor Lego set that I wanted. And she said, "You're lucky you got this, because it happened to be discounted when we showed up." So, eerie coincidence? Or the powers of the dead making sure I get what I want for Christmas? So sometime in the summer of 2001, I had a dream about Grandma during nap time. I don't remember the dream. Wish I did. But again, like the dreams I have about Grandma, it really seemed like she was there visiting me. So I wake up from my nap and start to get ready for the job I had at United Healthcare, money-grubbing bastards. And I do what I always do. Turn on the stereo, turn on the CD player, push play. And, you know, my head's filled with Grandma. And out of 7 CDs in the CD player, all of them filled up with music. There weren't any CD singles or like CD EPs where there's just 4 songs. There was 7 full CD albums in there. And out of the 7 CDs, it picks this ELO song to play right after I wake up from my nap about my dream with Grandma. And I thought, wow, this is really appropriate.
Seems like forever and time left to spare. When I look out the window and still you're not there. You're a long time gone. Such a long time gone. Tearing down memories bitter and sweet. Smashing away till it's all obsolete. You're a long time gone. Such a long time gone. You're a long time gone. Do I wonder why every day that I think about you still, and I always will. Did so much for me, now I think I see. This I do believe feels more like a dream. Looked at the weeds in the broken concrete before the bulldozers waltzed in and killed the old street. You're a long time gone. Such a long time gone. Doorsteps that shone in a bright summer sky lay shattered and wasted since our last goodbye. You're a long time gone. Such a long time gone. You're a long time gone. Do I wonder why every day that I think about you still, and I always will. Did so much for me, now I think I see. This I do believe feels more like a dream.
I did get to say goodbye to Grandma, by the way. After my parents told me that she died, I was thinking, what was the last thing I saw when I last saw Grandma? And I would see her every day, and when I left on Friday, she did what she always did when I leave I pull out of the driveway, back out, and Grandma was standing at the door waving goodbye. I waved goodbye back and then drove off to go home and nap and go to work. So we did get to say goodbye. Alright, that was a bit of a downer, wasn't it? I'll be funnier next week. I'll try. Until then, Jeff Quinlan loves you.
Fields and forests call your name, but I just lay in wait. Traps and schemes come in your dreams, and I am just the bait. On the edge of town, I will pull you down to the underworld, to the underworld, to the underworld. You're a rabbit in my hands, and your heart beats so fast. Yeah, I do what my God demands. What's wrong is right at last. You can take the stairs and come into my lair. To the underworld, to the underworld, to the underworld. Nature's daughter, but I live inside the sun. And you are what you barter with the souls of everyone. I do all the things you fear while you just watch and wait. And I love all the things you love and hate the things you hate. On the edge of town, I will pull you down to the underworld, to the underworld, to the underworld, to the underworld, to the underworld. Yeah, I will pull you down to the underworld, to the underworld, to the underworld.
These exciting Western dramas originate in the studios of WXYZ Detroit and are sent to you each Friday at 7:30 p.m. Al Chance speaking. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.